Give them the sustained energy of low GI white bread. From Sasko, share the goodness.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Espresso on SABC3. When I look at the ingredients today in the kitchen, only two words come to mind: soul and also heartwarming. Next to me, Christy. How are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
Good, good. Very well. What are we making?
Today we're going to make a roasted tomato soup.
And what are we serving it with?
We're going to be serving it with delicious whole wheat breadsticks.
Okay, so Sasko bread, low GI whole wheat. I'm sure that there's other Sasko breads that we can use as well. But let's get through it. What are our ingredients?
Our ingredients are going to be, of course, tomatoes, red onions, salt and pepper, some herbs, balsamic olive oil, and sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay, so let's get started. It looks beautiful at the end, but I guess we have to first start and get to do it before we get to the end result. So let's go.
Okay, first you've got to put your olive oil in your roasting pan. What I like to do is actually pop this into the oven and heat up the oil just to give the tomatoes a head start before we roast them.
Right.
But today we're just going to do this. It's not an essential step, but one that does help the roasting process. Then you add your onions, your garlic, thyme, and the other herbs, which would be oregano.
I never know how much herbs to put in. I mean, I also see that you've pre-measured some of it. How do you know enough is enough? Could you overspice it?
Well, I think you can, especially with herbs that are quite strong, as in oregano. But I think it depends on your taste. Some people would like a stronger taste and other people would like a more subtler herb taste. I don't think you can necessarily go too overboard because it's not like chili or something.
Right.
So I generally just go, in this recipe it's a tablespoon of each, so it's quite easy. But, you know, I think eyeballing it, don't go crazy. Usually with fresh herbs, just do like a handful. And then put some salt and pepper. Tomatoes do well with quite a lot of salt, so don't be too shy there. And then I add a bit of balsamic to help caramelize the tomatoes and make them a bit sweeter so they're not so tart.
That looks delicious on its own. It could be a salad or something that you have next to, well, today our low GI Sasko bread, but all the other times, I guess, a little piece of meat, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is wonderfully healthy. I mean, and it can, as you said, be a salad. What's nice about it is because of fresh tomatoes, it doesn't have any of the other extra things that are added in tin tomatoes, so it's completely healthy.
Okay.
Fresh.
What happens to that next?
Now we pop this into the oven at 200 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to keep this here for now. All right, what do we have it with?
We then, once it comes out the oven, it should look like this, beautifully and caramelized, and you've already got natural juices that have come out the tomatoes.
It smells amazing.
I know, again, this is also something you can just eat, you know, with meat, some chops or something. And then you add it to the stock. Just be careful when you do this that you don't splash all over the place because your stock will be hot at this stage. There you go. Once that happens, you bring it to the boil, add sun-dried tomatoes for a bit of extra tomatoey taste. Give that a stir. Cook that for a further 10 to 15 minutes. Once that's happened, you will then blitz it to make it lovely and smooth. Pass it through a sieve, and you will end up with this delicious looking soup.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, our heartwarming and also the word soulful, because the texture, even though it's a runny soup, it's really, really amazing. And I can imagine that, especially if you're in your bed and you're not feeling up to any good, you would probably want some of this. Okay, what do we have it with? Our Sasko GI whole wheat spoons. How do we make and create that?
These are wonderfully easy, and it's, I mean, such a fun way to serve bread with soup. All you do is you take a slice of bread. We're using whole wheat today for added goodness. Give it a roll just to spread it out, isn't it? You grab a spoon, pop it on the spoon over here so we can trace it.
You're quite good at this. I can see that you've made there's a few ready-made ones here. Can I pick one up?
Yeah, I think that those are a bit neater than these, but...
What do you do with them afterwards? So you cut them out in a little spoon, you literally trace it and then?
Yeah, once you've cut it out, probably a bit better than I have right now, you just pop it on top of the spoon.
Right.
Because this way it'll give it that lovely like dip.
Yeah, because it's a little dented like a real spoon.
Yes,
yeah.
It's so adorable. Then you pop them on a tray and then you'll put them on the oven in the oven just to toast.
Okay,
and
little toasted spoons with your soup. Okay.
yes, and then what is quite nice to finish off the soup, you can add some freshly torn basil. You know, that lovely fresh touch to it.
And you can even smell that. Well, while you do that, if you would like this recipe or even know how to make or recreate it, all you need to do is to SMS the word Sasko to 33728, and we'll send you a list of the Pick and Pay ingredients and also a link to the recipe of how to make and create it. So you've added a little bit, is that cream?
Yes, I've just finished with a bit of cream just for a lovely richness at the end and just finish the soup off.
A little bit of richness at the end. Let's have a look at how we made this.
Toss tomatoes, onions and garlic in olive oil, balsamic, herbs and seasoning. Roast until soft, then add to hot stock with the sun-dried tomatoes and boil. Blend soup, then strain. Roll bread out, then cut out the spoon shape. Place onto a spoon and bake until toasted.
Smell. Be hypnotized by the smells of the soup.
The aromas coming out of this kitchen is just so insane. It's great.
Soup is amazing.
Wow, it is
Give
amazing.
It a lick. Amazing. How did we get the recipe though? Oh, it's got like little spoons.
I got this for you. SMS
All right.
Sasko and the keyword is Sasko. SMS that to 33728 and you can get the list of the Pick and Pay ingredients and also the recipe.
Awesome.
Ja, gerus, asseblief.
Just look at these
Broer,
awesome
ek het dit
spoons.
self gemaak.
Made out of
Yeah.
Sasko bread. That's so cool. So
Come, you also have to taste.
Can I also have a taste?
Yeah, I made
don't
it
want to reach.
myself,
I don't want to be
please.
rude.
No.
This is nice. This is the
Thank
one
you.
time that you can actually eat your spoon.
Yeah.
Chrissy, you can have one
thank
too. I
you.
saved one for you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
I like leigh-anne's comment. It's the first time you can actually eat your spoon.
Fantastic. You know how people like lick the spoon and like, no, you can't
No,
eat it.
don't. Please don't do that with this one.
This is
Dis so lekker ek
fantastic.
skop jy sommer onder die tafel.
Wow. So good tomato soup.
Isn't it true
Really
what
good.
I said? It's hearty
thank
and really heartwarming. It's like a true old-fashioned soup. Like
This is
something
really a winter's dish.
that,
Really
definitely.
nice.
But you know what's also heartwarming? Not so heartwarming, but cool. From a tech point of view, I don't know if you know this, but animals can now tweet. They're on social media, like Bob tweets. And then I think actually Bob showed this trend, but well, we'll show it's going to be on our YouTube channel, Espresso SABC, where the Johannesburg Zoo now has a spokes animal who tweets on their behalf, and it's a badger, the world's very first tweeting badger. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
What do you think they tweet?
It'll change your life.
Follow
I'm
him.
wondering how.
I've been looking at some of his tweets. I can't remember the Twitter handle. We'll get that on our website, expressoshow.com, but he tweets random stuff. So he trips off sensors, and every time he does, he takes selfies, and he comments on the people looking at him. And
Imagine if you tweeted badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, 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 badger. Do you know that song?
Stop badgering the badger. Come on.
you know that song.
Oh man, I really hope that you've enjoyed the show with us this morning. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you as every morning. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of our guests. Thank you, Africapella. Check them out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. All of those, they are the real deal amazing.
True.
We'll see you again tomorrow morning with more inspiration, more feel-good breakfast show.
That's it.
Right here,
That's it.
Elizabeth.
See you guys.